Hi, everybody. It's Mick Peterson, and I'm here on our first call for Building the New You. This is a program that I put together. It's going to be one of the many programs and challenges that we're going to build through this as we develop our characters. So I'm going to share my screen and get the PowerPoints all ready. And let's see, let's start at the beginning and let's play. Here we go. So the new you, what does the new you look like? And did you know that you get to create who you want to be? So the power of that idea is that oftentimes we let the circumstances outside ourselves determine not only how we feel, but the thoughts we have in ourselves. And many of these thoughts we did not create. They came about because at conception, we carry with us in our DNA all sorts of combinations of thoughts, feelings, and circumstances that our ancestors had. That comes from the unconscious mind. Then the subconscious mind is where, at that same moment of conception, our minds our subconscious minds begin to take in information from all of our senses. And we have more than just 5 senses. There's thermoception as well as proprioception. These things are, you walk outside and it's cold, you sense that it's cold. That is actually a sense. And we don't ever hear about those. Or proprioception, which is your ability to know where you are in space. So if you're eating, it's like your aim. You know that your hand, what you call your hand, is going to what you call your mouth. And our proprioception is our ability to actually get our food in our mouths. So at the moment of conception is when all of those impressions, they start building on top of one on top of the other to build our character. And they create everything in our lives, the way that we perceive things, the way we look at things. So the goal is to begin to recognize them and understand this is a lifelong journey to look at how we are, how we want to be, and change that. So the idea with the Success Study Club is it's to create an environment where this is not only encouraged, but it's celebrated. The idea that you become someone different. Surrounding yourself with mentors. I have so many mentors. I mean, you can't see them right from here. Maybe I'll get a bookcase to put behind me, but I've got hundreds of books, all of which I have not read. My goal is to read them. And then there are some that I read over and over and over. Number one, mine, Stella and the Timekeepers. This is the first book, my first published novel. And that was such a journey and such an exciting journey to do that. And I just made the decision that I could do it, despite not having a degree, despite not having the proper training to write all these things. And I can improve on all of those things. And that's what this idea of the Success Study Club. Your Invisible Power, another one that I look at a lot, As a Man Thinketh. These are really great books. So the Success Study Club private membership area, my purpose in establishing it are the following reasons. It's to inspire you to read more, study more, and be more. It's also to share with you the tools to expand your intellect. And in doing that, you will come right up against all of these beliefs that are not correct, that you just assumed that were correct until you actually examine them and think, that doesn't really serve me. And you discard it, replace it with something else, and you do it intentionally and deliberately. The next reason that I started this Success Study Club private membership area is to assist you in building a clear, concise picture of the person that you want to become. So if you have an area of interest, and many of you, when you were younger, there was something that just excited you. It got you thrilled. And through the years of other people generally, and also yourself telling you that you couldn't do it for whatever reason, you weren't good enough, um, you weren't able to do it. Well, those things, those concepts are wrong. So this is going to help you to create a clear picture, a concise picture of the person you want to become. Also to create in the process, let's see, I've got to ask her, oops, I went the wrong way. Sorry, I'm gonna have to escape, go back. For some reason, Katie, you're showing up and I don't know why. I'm gonna remove, not remove, cancel, no. Well, you guys can't see the picture of me. Sorry, this is my first run at doing one of these and I'm doing it. All right, so anyway, the next one is to create a process by which you can step into that picture. Maybe Katie, if you unmute, if you mute, I don't know how to mute, no, you're muted. Maybe turn off your video. I don't know why you're there and I'm not. Let's see. There, I can see you now. And I don't have a cursor on this day when I'm sharing the screen. So, oh well. You guys don't get to see me, but you get to hear me. All right, the next reason that I hear you now, Katie. You want to mute yourself? To create a process by which you can step into that picture, the picture of you that you've created. And then the last purpose is to provide a safe place where there's accountability, where you can actually feel comfortable in sharing your wins and also your failures, and understanding that failures are not a bad thing. We learn mostly from our failures. And so I think instead of using the vocabulary of failures, maybe I should just use the vocabulary of lessons. So that's why I started it. So we're going to be architecting success. So this comes from James Allen's book, As Men Thinketh. Mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shapes what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys and 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. So when James Allen wrote that, he was a thought leader, and he, in last century, and he believed that we are a culmination of all of our thoughts and experiences, and that we can wield the power of thought. But it's going to take effort, and it's going to take constant review. And that's why I wanted to put the accountability piece in, that we actually get accountability partners. We work together on with those partners on constantly spiraling upward, and understanding that the tool of thought can also be the weapon of thought, depending on how you wield it. So are you going to be using your thought to create, or are you going to use thought to disintegrate? So you can lift yourself up, or you can tear yourself down. And words are a representation of the pictures that we think. So we think in pictures. We're constantly thinking in pictures. If I said to you, what does your car look like? You're going to immediately go to a picture in your mind of what the car is. You're not going to see a series of words. That's why oftentimes writers are called painters. They paint mind pictures. So the more elaborate, the more detailed, the more lovely that the words can paint the picture, the better the writer it is. And that, of course, takes lots of practice to do that. So since we think in pictures, let's build the picture. Oops, wrong thing. Boop, there we go. I think all of this is being, there we go. Let's build a character. So the definition of character, it's a noun, and it's the aggregate of features and traits that form the individual nature of a person. So there are many aspects that you want to focus on, many things that when you're building your character that you want to focus on. Where did I put that? Here they are. There are a few here. Health and fitness is an area that maybe you want to consider. This is one of the aggregate pieces to the whole. Your intellect. Again, this is where you're refining and purifying your thoughts and the knowledge that you have. There's also an emotional characteristic. And then how about your character? What are the values that you have? What are the things that are important to you? Building your character. Spiritual. Having a spiritual foundation also can help you to build your character, focusing on that spiritual aspect. Your relationships, and that could be love relationship. It could also be relationship with your family, whatever the relationships are. And then another relationship is parenting, or your social with your friends. Then another piece, which a lot of us, it's very important to us, is career. And what impact is our career having on other people and on ourselves? And then the financial piece, that's another part of your character, is your ability to understand that money is energy, and how is that energy, how are you attracting that into your life, and then how are you dispensing it? Your quality of life, are you getting enough rest? Are you surrounding yourself with nice things and nice places? And then ultimately your life vision. And we're going to be talking a lot about purpose. And it's such an important part in As a Man Thinketh. He talks about the importance of purpose and marrying purpose with your thoughts. Now, where is this piece? Here it is. Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. That's what James Allen wrote. So we should make our purpose our supreme duty and devote ourselves to its attainment, and not allowing thoughts to wander away into ephemeral fancies, longings, and imaginings, bringing our focus back on our purpose and doing this constantly. And that's what the idea of what we're doing here, building our character and building that picture, and how important that is. All right, so a new character will then bridge the gap to a new reality. This concept is so important. That's why working on these categories and focusing on these categories with the ultimate idea of your life purpose or your life task, building that character and refining not only what we're thinking, but how we're acting, the tasks that we're doing, the ease at which we allow ourselves to do it. Allow is a really important word. So to create a life that you desire, evolving your brain is key. In the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, that was a very important part of it. But how do you do that? Well, we're going to be discussing how to do that. There's empirical evidence showing that meditation, getting calm, and then getting very focused on our life purpose, what it is we're working toward. It's never going to be a straight line. It's going to go squiggling here and there, but as long as, like a cybernetic mechanism within an airplane that keeps the plane back on course when winds come and blow it off course, this is what our job is with our thoughts, is to keep them focused. To make the significant changes in your life, you must understand that the power to do so is within your reach. You have it. You have that power. And then to change your inner world of thoughts and feelings, your external world will begin to reflect the effect of that effort. Again, but how? So how do we change our inner world of thoughts and our feelings? That's one of the things that we were going to be focusing on in this particular program. And so with my first book, I have Stella and the Timekeepers. I'd been working on this book for years, and there was a part of me, it was like a push-pull struggle, felt like a struggle. I can do it. No, I can't. I can do it. No, I can't. I had all these reasons why I couldn't do it. And I was coming up against all of those conditions that were laid down on top of me in my subconscious mind from the moment of conception by my senses. So disregarding all of that, I kept focusing on where I wanted to go. I wanted to have a book published. And I know you can't see it, but I'm holding it up here. I wish I knew how to change that, Katie. How can I change this? So let me stop sharing for a second. So I want to be here. I don't want you to be here. How do I put me here? Stop video, pin video. There we go. I'm pinned. I figured it out. Now I'm going back to sharing the screen. And where are you? Here we go. Thanks for your patience, people. I really appreciate it. Okay, so where's the play? Come on, move it. Can I move this? There we go. It went away. Okay, now you see me. Now I know to pin the video. It's all a learning process. All right, so before I would have gotten so anxious and so uptight that it wasn't perfect, that I didn't get it right. I didn't know how to do it. And I'm not letting that happen. And this is a great example of how to get beyond obstacles that are not really obstacles. So how do you change your inner world of thought and feelings? Well, we're going to show you how this process, how did I get from freaking out that it wasn't good enough to going with the flow? It's all part of a process, a mental process. All right, so to recognize your thoughts and feelings and understand that they're conditioned beliefs that we rely upon to frame your reality, when you realize and recognize that, that will set you free. It'll set you free to go after whatever you want. Because so often it isn't other people that prevent us, it is ourselves that prevent us. But not just prevent, allowing us to do that. So again, how? So we have got to figure out what our life purpose is, what our life task is, what excites you, what does always excite you. So this is the process that we go through when we're materializing something. Goals materialize when they are pursued. Defining what your goals are is very important, and then going after them is even more important. So pursuit requires action. Action is the catalyst. That is what will create, it is what you want. It may sound simple, but the truth is, it is a process. Thinking about what it is you want, and then pursuing that. The pursuit requires action. Action requires a well-laid plan. A plan requires thought, comes back to the thought. So we must begin with thought. And getting clear on what it is that you're desiring to do is first and foremost the most important, and then revisiting it and refining it. And by doing this, you will create a brand new world. Living a life that's familiar, what you're used to, is uncomfortable. So understand that change is a choice. And when you understand that it's going to be scary, that it's going to be uncomfortable, and that you'll be confronting all kinds of inner demons, that's why having a group like this, of like-minded people, a community, having accountability, this is going to allow you to step into that good discomfort and feel supported. There is nothing worse than going for something while people around you are tearing you down. That doesn't serve you at all. So you're going to want to make sure that you have great conviction in yourself in order to attempt your change. It is a choice. And you're going to come into forks in the road where there's going to be a sign that's going to say, go that way, like in the Wizard of Oz. And then there's a third choice, which is going back. Nope, that's forbidden. Do not do that. Advance. When you get uncomfortable, advance. All right, so the modules in this course. So today is the overview. I'm going over basically the concept behind this. We're going to actually go through all sorts of homework, and you'll have to do the homework. And then on the 2-day event, we're going to actually do this stuff as well. And I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, and you're going to hold my feet to the fire, because I'm going to be doing it right along with you. So the first one is the science of you. How did you get back up there, Katie? I pinned myself. So funny. Let's see if I can unpin this again. Where am I? Here? Pin. Now don't unpin. You hear me? I already pinned. Oh my. I may have to do this again, Katie, to get it just right. Okay, so the first module will be called the science of you. So this is going to be we're going to be going through all sorts of elements about the brain and how it works, and how we are addicted so often to our concepts. And when we're doing that, when we're understanding that in the brain there are receptors, and when you have a thought, that thought will trigger a cascade of enzymes and proteins and all kinds of other things that become familiar. It's a cascade of these liquids, these elixirs of life that make us feel a certain way. And we feel that way because we've done it so much, it feels comfortable. So imagine if you go to a beach that no one has been on, and you walk across the sand to the water, and you turn around and you see your feet prints. And that's like the very first one. Eventually, the more you do it over and over, that can become a highway. And it's very easy to get on and off the highway. It's very easy for you to go to those emotions. To change that, it's going to feel uncomfortable, only because of the way our brains are set up. So we're going to be talking a lot about the science of you. Second, your brain and meditation. Why meditation is so important. In Tim Ferriss's book, The Tools of Titans, he, over the course of the last several years, he's interviewed 200 plus people that are experts in their field. They're masters in whatever area they have chosen their careers. And these people, what they all have in common, or at least 80% of them have in common, is that every day they meditate. The importance of meditation cannot be undervalued, or overvalued. So it's important that we learn to sit, be mindful, and then how to do that. We're going to be talking about this, and there'll be some guided meditations that are available as well. So the next module is open the door to your creative state. So when you understand that we can be a creator, or we can be a victim. Being a victim and blaming, or allowing the outside circumstances to dictate how we feel, and then what we think that we're able to do, allowing I call that the victim mentality. Being a creator is where you think about what it is you intentionally want and move towards that. We'll be talking about opening that door and getting to that creative space to do that. And then this one is pruning away the habit of being yourself. When you prune away the habit of being yourself, you learn how to recognize those thoughts and feelings that don't serve you any longer. So you want to make sure that in this module that you are very present, and you then step outside of the module and you think about yourself and you notice things, and not judging, just noticing, that's interesting. Is that serving me? And this is a lifelong process, building towards, the perfect character, I guess is the best way to say it. And the last one is dismantle the memory of you. Now, the memory of those emotional reactions, those cascade of feelings that are familiar, whatever you consider to be you. So me, Mick, one of the reasons that Mick is not on the book, it's M. Sean Peterson, is that it was a different identity. I'm a different character in that. And we can assume different characters. By doing that, we give ourselves permission, when we're outside of something, to examine it from a different perspective. So if we can get outside of ourselves, and that's what I think meditation does, is it allows us to be outside of ourselves so that we can look toward where we're going, how we're going about getting there, and then refining our actions and our thoughts and our feelings to those that better serve us in the getting to the goal. That's only going to help us. So those are the modules that we'll be working on. Oh, I just escaped. Whoops, let's go back into the share mode. All right, and then this will all culminate in a 2-day virtual retreat. So this retreat, it's Saturday, August 15th, and it will be Sunday, August 16th too, from 9 a.m. Pacific to 3 p.m. Pacific. So I know I'm asking 12 hours of your time. This is for you. This is so I can help you to go through the methods and the processes that we've decided, that I've learned from not only the mentors, the physical mentors that I have, but also the mentors like James Allen or Genevieve Beren, all these wonderful thought leaders. And I have so many cards. We'll be going through the list of the homework, and I'm going to be asking that you share this with me. The next part is you'll be doing a process of the 5 W's. And the 5 W's are who, what, when, where, why. So this is so important, particularly the why, and asking yourself over and over, what is the why to this? And then when you answer it, ask why that is true. And a lot of times when you do that, you get to a place where what you discover and what you unravel gets right to the core of your life purpose, and perhaps even what it is that's holding you back, because you can see that. It's like you're pulling back the different veils to get to the treasure chest. So it's a very interesting process. So your mission will be to describe your heaven, your perfect ideal life, and your hell, the things that are not necessarily serving you. Making a list of those things and then doing the opposite of hell. And from that, you're building this picture of this character. And this is all part of building your plan, which is really, really exciting. So there'll be special guests that are coming on. There'll be some guided assistance from me and from others that are participating. And all of this is to create the new you. So the 6 steps to a new you. So look to those who inspire you. I have a list of there are 8 people, and they have specific traits and qualities that I have identified. And it says here, identified traits, behaviors, results that you desire. And there might be parts of that character that you don't necessarily feel in harmony with. I'm not asking that. I'm asking you to think of a single trait that you would like to incorporate into your, into what defines you. Then you'll determine why you'd like to acquire those attributes. You ask yourself the why, the 7 levels of why. Why do you want that? If you have that, what will that give you? What will that do for you? Then, as I said earlier, you'll describe your heaven and hell. And then I'll ask that you write a story of the new you that are detailed by the 5 W's. So it's really exciting because you get to a clear vision. You'll have a picture. I'll even ask you to find pictures that you could look at regularly that will help you to hold that image. Holding that image and then taking the necessary steps towards that, you'll be defining your new thoughts, your beliefs, your habits, and your actions. And at this point, this is where action should really be a much bigger word, because actions are going to be so important. Some of the actions are going to feel ridiculously scary, and you'll do them anyway. And this is the exciting part. So this is this week's. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let's see, how do I stop sharing? Oh, escape. That's what I'll do. I'm escaping. Stop sharing. And we've been recording, Katie. So I'm going to stop our recording now. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next week.